This is going to tie into my conclusion. At their first Thanksgiving celebration in 1621, there was only 6 or 7 sane people left in the whole Pilgrim colony. The rest were mentally deranged. In other words, putting it into modern everyday language, the bulk of them were just plain crazy. Pilgrim cannibalism. Captain John Smith wrote, "So great was our famine that a savage we slew and buried. The poorer sort took him up again and ate him, and so did divers. Once another's boiled and stewed with herbs, and one amongst the rest did kill his wife, powdered her, and had eaten part of her." This is from the book, The General History of Virginia, 4th book, page 294. Okay. And now I want to look at the book, Everything You Know Is Wrong, and that's written by Lloyd Pye. I'm going to actually read this part here. It's very important. It says, in part 2, we have learned that after 4 million years of supposed evolution, the ultimate distillation of pre-human development was the heavy-boned, massively muscled, rather dim-witted brutes called Neanderthals, who, apart from upright posture, bear no physical relationship to modern humans. Very important. That means there is no legitimate way to connect humanity to Earth's remote past. That means Darwinism does not, cannot, and never will explain how mankind got here. This is a powerful statement most scientists would prefer the general public never hear, much less understand. Also realize that it opens some unusual avenues of inquiry along very non-traditional lines. For example, if humanity did not evolve here on Earth, how on earth did we get here? And if Neanderthals and early hominid types are the true native population on planet Earth, why and how and when did all of them go extinct? Better yet, did all of them go extinct? This is where the hominids come in. And now we're going to look at the last book that I want to reference. And this is the book, African People in European Holidays and Mental Genocide, page 28 to 29. Alright, so it says the Scythian disease. It says in the capitalized sketch of the Scythians, who were the progeny of the white Cro-Magnon and the ancestors of Hitler's Aryan race, we are presenting a case study of the manifest abysmal gap between the African and the Caucasian who later invaded and inhabited East, West, Central, and Southern Europe. With the hope that you will not accuse us of being racial bigots teaching hatred, we are basing the following remarks on one white man's view of his own ancestry, a Greek geographer and historian of the 5th century BCE named Herodotus. The Scythians were a branch of the Caucasian race from the far northeast of the Asian continent and parts of northern Europe. They referred to themselves as being the youngest of all the nations in the ancient world, having emerged on the scene somewhere between 2000 to 1500 BCE. According to one Scythian tradition, they descended from a cave-dwelling viper woman, a horrid creature with the head and torso of a woman from the waist up and the venom-laden body of a snake from the buttocks down. It's really weird that out of all the words that can have a typo, he had a typo with the word snake. It's ridiculous. But it says shake there, but it's supposed to be snake. Anyhow, the story goes on to tell how she once tricked an Egyptian named Hercules. It goes on and on. Let me go to the juicy part here. Where we want to go? So Herodotus says they were the most uncivilized nation in the world and sustained themselves by eating the raw flesh of their cattle. In fact, the eating of rare beef is still a big thing. with the descendants here in America today. The rarer, the bloodier it is, the better they like it. The Scythians also abhorred the use of water for bathing. Instead, they basked themselves in the vapors of burning hemp, from which they would derive a narcotic high. Herodotus further depicts them as violent, warlike nomads devoid in the science of agriculture who traveled and lived in wagons. These early predecessors of today's arrogant Euro-Americans rode into combat wearing black capes and fell upon their victims with vampire-like fury, sucking the blood from the body of the first person they killed in battle. It was also customary to scalp their fallen enemy and drink the blood. Alright, so my personal opinion on where white people came from, based on the information that I have in this video, and information that I didn't even bother to put in the video. They are obviously not humans, and they were not created here, okay? We spoke about Rh negative blood, how everyone is Rh positive, but all of a sudden you have a group of so-called Caucasians that are Rh negative. Right? We talk about their common ancestors being Neanderthals. We talk about their makeup, their anatomy being sulfur-based. We talk about Vlad the Impaler. We've just spoken about the Scythians. Obviously, their ancestors were hybrids. They were reptilians. They were savages. Okay, they know this, and this is why you try to talk to white folks about their ancestors. They say we're all humans. They say they came from Africa. No, you didn't come from Africa, okay? Again, we can look at the book African Holistic Health. It talks about the differences between blacks and whites. And again, I'm just using that term, but you know what I mean. But Europeans and Aboriginals is completely different, okay? The diet, the phenotypes, the physiology, completely different. We spoke about what traits that Rh negative people have. I mean, the list goes on. Again, I have more information. I have video footage. I have news articles. I didn't even bother to include in this video because then it would be like a 2-hour video. That would be overkill. So that's my conclusion. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, Conspiracy Dude.